Comic Pod.
You like to write villains.
I like villains, yes.
Yeah.
I like villains.
Makes sense.
But I like villains that are... I don't like psychotic villains. When they're too psychotic, they're just too crazy. I like villains, there's that sliver, we talked about it a lot, that sliver of relatability where you agree with them a little bit and maybe you're uncomfortable with that. You know?
In spite of few successful movies in Disney Comics, it seemed to us that Warner Brothers has never had a clear plan of what to do.
I can't talk about any of that stuff.
Just comics.
Just comics.
Just comics.
Okay, starring...
Você já reabilitou?
Não, ele ali, ó, primeiro. Tá parado.
Gostaria de saber se na próxima fase da DC Comics, de maneira bem geral, assim, se há planos de criação de novos títulos ou novos personagens, porque na primeira fase eu vi reformulações de personagens, mas poucos personagens novos. Mas seria interessante acrescentar ou vilões ou novos heróis ou mesmo coadjuvantes para...
Let Diddy. He wants to know if he has any plans for the second wave, for the second part to bring in new heroes, not just, like radicalized.
We have a new hero we're going to be introducing in Justice League.
Yeah. We do.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool one.
A cool one, yeah. Kind of a hero.
Kind of a hero.
Hero slash...
Yeah, something else.
Something else.
Secret.
Oh, Joe.
What?
Oh, you missed the... Joe almost blew it. Excuse me.
Now he's going to call them. Say, Joe blew it.
Thank you.
Here.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Aproveitando o Dr. Geoff também, tem dois trabalhos na DC. Ele é roteirista e ele é Chief of
Creative
Officer. Exato. Que cuida mais até da parte
que ele não pode falar.
Que ele não pode falar. Mas eu queria saber, não sobre filme, nada disso. Como é a divisão do trabalho deles? Como funciona a organização deles?
What do you like organizing work day? Because you do two things. You write, and you create.
I start work really early, like Joe.
5 a.m.
Yeah, like Joe. Joe works all the time. You work all the time too.
No, I'm late.
No, he doesn't.
I start late.
We work all the time.
I wake 9:30, 10 o'clock.
I start work around 6:30.
6:30.
And then I work. I do a lot of writing and plotting. I talk to the editors. I talk to the guys. Then during the day, usually I'm working on whatever work, TV, Arrow, or whatever we're working on, and then I write at night, write on the weekends. Sometimes during the day
During trips,
right? I'll write.
Okay.
But during the day, sometimes I break down stories or write. But I write. I just like writing. So
yeah.
And I can write. I can write anywhere. It doesn't matter. I don't have to be at a desk. I can be. Like I was at Joe's house at like midnight just writing because I felt like writing.
Yeah.
So, and his dogs are loud.
That's a good part of it.
But I just balance it out. I don't have kids or anything. So
Yeah.
it's full time.
Quem mais?
Depois de reabilitar o Hal Jordan e o Aquaman, tem algum outro personagem que esteja na mira para ser reabilitado em uma série solo?
After you rehabilitate, after you put Hal and Aquaman through rehab. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any plans for another solo hero?
Yes. Next year.
Next year. Also, he already did that.
I think it's better.
Any hint?
No, solo hero.
Solo.
Any hint?
No.
No hint.
No hints. And you forgot that he already did that with Shazam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Black
Yes,
Adam,
of course.
Black Adam's in this one.
No, not that kind of rehab. Not that kind of rehab.
This project will be a consequence of Forever Evil.
Sort of. It'll be. We'll announce it next year.
Yes.
Next year.
Create your own comics in your future. Any point.
What's that?
Create your own comics. Your own.
Yes. That's all I can say. Yes, I've talked to Vertigo about a book right now.
tá parado lá faz tempo.
Thank you. I'll ask in English, but it's really true.
Okay.
You can answer that. So you talked about a little about your process, the way you work together. But how it is the way you work together, and with Gene in the question of character design, because we see that of course there is some kind of I don't want to say standard, but I'll say some kind of above management decision about character design and how creative Ivan, for example, can be, or how can change in the character design, or how can you change the story to your heart content, but at the same time having to care with the plot, with the plot of the saga and stuff like that.
I mean, you guys can speak to designs more than I can.
Yeah, but well, sometimes we get to design the character.
Cyborg redesigned.
Yeah.
Actually, Cyborg wasn't a redesign. I just got the team redesign and make more.
You make it yours.
Yeah, I make my style.
He made Cyborg more slim.
Because when I was reading the Geoff script, I wasn't seeing the Cyborg like a tank.
Like a tank, yeah.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
He's dynamic. He needs some movement, and he had to have. I was seeing him more dynamic, more young. He needs movement, and when you can show this movement, it's better to use the emotion, and because he has just this part of the face to show the emotion.
This one.
Oh, this one. Yeah. Yeah, and
I spoke in English just for him to understand, but you can speak Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
But he can understand too.
And for example, he has just a part of the face to show emotion. The another way to show emotion in a character is in the body.
Body language.
It's body language. If the guy is a tank, it's hard to use the body language to show the emotion. And he's a cyborg, I need to show the emotion in him. Yeah. The body language is part of this. So because that I made him more nice human body. Yeah.
And also
the reason.
And also
it wasn't because I didn't like that. I want to do different. No, had a reason to do that. I always try to change something when using a reason to do, not just for fun.
Yeah. No, the thing is, there are some character designs that we can do anything about. You know, it's not ours. You know, it doesn't belong to our book.
Yeah,
And each artist also finds his way or her way to interpret the design. So it can change a little bit here and there. You know?
But how is it not an issue? Like when you talk.
Sometimes it's an issue. Okay.
But it's like every creative process.
Yeah, it's creative
you have people.
process.
You have the editorial that have their direction, then us that have our desire for a costume. But we have a great editor. We work with Brian Cunningham. He's one of the best editors in the business.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's supportive. He's got great ideas. I love working with him.
Yeah.
When he has ideas on a costume, they're great. Like, so I trust our editor. I'll trust Brian with anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'll pitch every idea I have to Brian before I write it. So we trust our editor implicitly. So there's no. It's a great creative process. You know, it's not if you have a great editor.
You don't have to be forced to do
anything. And Brian, I even talks about how he wants to, tweak Cyborg a little bit, and Brian immediately understands it and is 100% supportive. And then he's the one that kind of protects the book and protects our creative process.
Existe uma briga entre a equipe criativa e a galera dos editores, né? É uma parceria mesmo.
É parceria. There are no fights between the
Brian
teams and
UFC.
editorial.
No, and again, it's because we have, Brian Cunningham is one of the best editors in business. I can't say enough about him. He's all about making the book the best it can be for the book. And then he helps us organize, because Justice League ties to a lot of other books. He helps us really protect the book. But we've been working with him for years. So he's part of the team.
Falando mais sobre essa parceria de editores, criadores, etc. Eu queria que o Jonhs falasse se teve alguma ideia dele que já tivesse sido recusada pelo editor, se ele pode dizer qual foi.
Did you ever have any ideas that were shut down by the editors? And idea. Can you comment about it?
No, I mean, of course you do. You know, you have ideas that don't work for certain things, but you know, it's a shared universe. This is the way it happens. You know, like Aquaman, we had a lot of arguments about Aquaman and our take on Aquaman, but ultimately it was supported and it worked, so it's good.
O Geoff trabalhou durante 2 fases na revista do Flash. A primeira com o Wally West e a segunda com o Barry Allen. Qual das duas ele gostou mais de fazer e se ele gostaria de voltar à revista do Flash?
Do you have like 2 faces on Flash with 2 incarnations, Wally and Barry? If you could get back to Flash, would you again?
I'd like to go back someday, but not today.
E qual dessas duas ele...
Which of the versions you like the most?
I like them both because I grew up on Wally. I wrote Wally for 5 years.
Me too. Same thing.
You know, so I wrote a long time. Joe showed me this big Brazilian book of
it's Spanish.
Oh, Spanish book of Flash. But I love Barry too. You know, I love working on Barry. I'm working on the TV pilot right now with Barry. It's a lot of fun. I love that character. I just find him very earnest.
Since you're talking about villains, about characters, and you're talking before about villains, and you're writing forever, do you think villains have more layers than the heroes?
I think
more to explore.
I think some villains do, absolutely. But I also think, we were talking earlier, I think villains are also incredibly unpredictable. You don't really know what Lex Luthor and Bizarro and Sinestro and Captain Cold and Catwoman and Black Manta are going to end up doing in Forever Evil. You're not really sure. So I find them, they're very interesting. I've always loved writing villains since Flash. You know, I brought the Rogues back, and
that Captain Cold issue.
Yeah, it was good. Like on my door in my office, I have Captain Cold. That's how much I love that character, and that's how much I love villains. You know, I love Sinestro. I could write a Sinestro book. I could write, you know, I love Blackhand. All the villains that we've worked on really speak to me in some weird, sick way. But I just like supervillains, exploring them, because the better the villain is, the better the hero is. Right now, I'm into Lex Luthor, and he's a fascinating character. I think he's one of the most fascinating characters in comic books. He's incredibly complex. So he is. I mean, the whole idea of Forever Evil is design a story. It's specifically, if I want to explore villains in a very different way, how do I put them in a scenario where they have to act like heroes? And can they do that, ultimately? And we'll find out. But that's what Forever Evil is really about.
Pode fazer a pergunta.
Falando aí das opiniões, vocês, quando começaram lá o 52 com a Liga, o primeiro vilão escolhido é um vilão talvez um dos mais icônicos da DC, que é o Darkseid. Como foi o processo para decidir que vocês começariam já com o Darkseid?
Ele e o Jim, não a gente. Mas when we started thinking about villains, how was the process to decide that the villain of the first arc should be Darkseid? Because he's so iconic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he's the biggest DC villain.
Yeah.
literally and physically, like he's the biggest DC villain.
I think that if he shows up,
if he shows up, you have to have a Justice League. Yeah. I didn't want it to just be, Felix Faust or something.
Yeah.
It had to be like the biggest villain you could have, and also it's just the first step. He's going to be back in Justice League. These guys are going to draw the hell out of him. But he's going to be back in Justice League sooner than later.
2 years.
Well, no. We have Justice League plotted out for at least the next two plus years. So.
Eu tenho uma curiosidade lá de trás da construção dos Novos 52, a partir do ponto de ignição. Como foi essa criação, essa reformulação? Para poder chegar a resultados tão novos como se conseguiu.
Posso complementar?
Deus do céu.
Você vai responder duas vezes. Uma pergunta. falasse assim, quanto tempo antes eu decidi que ia ser feito de boot, como foi discutido esse caso até chegar nas mãos?
Okay. You want to know like the process, the creation of New 52 since Flashpoint? What lead you guys to decide that everything had to be changed? You know, and
that's a great question. That's probably a better question for Dan and Jim.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. And it's how much time before it was launching that we started to work on it?
Well, I mean, we started to work on Aquaman before that.
Before they decided that.
Yeah, before that, and so it didn't really affect our book much.
Yeah.
You know, our book was very accessible anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect Aquaman at all.
Yeah.
Justice League affected, you know.
Yeah. Porque isso aí é uma pergunta mais pro Dan e pro Jim do que pra ele, sinceramente. Mesmo porque quando a gente começou a fazer o Aquaman, não fazia nem parte dos Novos 52, né? A história era para sair direto do Brad State, que já é mais claro. E aí, quando foi decidido, a gente só... E o Aquaman dá para você ler sendo New 52 ou Old 52, whatever, you know?
Yeah, Aquaman was, Aquaman.
Yeah, so...
Mas teve um mês, tipo, então... Vocês adaptaram...
Sim, mas só que nem precisou muita coisa.
Mas, no caso de vocês, mas foi uma coisa que vocês saibam, outros autores tiveram, que estavam trabalhando também no começo de séries, talvez tenham tido alguma dificuldade na adaptação, vocês sabem?
You know, if any other creators had to adapt their projects to the new 52, like we did.
I mean, we tweaked ours a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We tweaked Aquaman a little bit. Justice League, I had to rethink.
Yeah.
I had to rethink Justice.
A Liga ele teve que repensar tudo. O que eles iam fazer.
E já ia fazer Liga também, e aí
teve que repensar tudo e adaptar.
It's a cliche, it's a good question. Do you still read comics as a fan?
Yes.
Do you have time to read comics?
Yes.
What book?
My favorite book right now is Peter Tomasi's Batman and Robin. Really good book.
For you two guys too.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I love a bunch of DC. You know, I read them every month, and I also read a bunch of Image books. You know, like Saga, Peter, Killer, Faust. You know, like I love to read old independent books. You know, like Mage, Hellboy. You know, this kind of stuff. And I'm always rereading stuff. You know, and I also read three Marvel books. Thor, All New X-Men, and Hawkeye. And that's it.
Quando tenho tempo, eu gosto de ler. Uma coisa que eu acabei de ler recentemente foi o Punk Rock Jesus. Eu achei muito legal.